And look, I got on here last time and started with my intro, and I'm in here playing around. Next thing I know, Austin's done put together.
That's the best intro you've had yet when he put you blue blind.
Yeah, blue blind.
You're not very good when you have to stick to a script.
No, he can't do it because it's going to be
He
right here.
can't do a script.
Right now, it's just watch this. Bam. You ready? You ready for it? You ready for it?
Go.
Here we go. Welcome back, baby. Welcome back. I got Wee in the house. It's the Boys in the Sip, brought to you by Mac Height, Jackson, Mississippi. If you need a car, they're the only place to go, boys.
Go see my boy Ryan.
Go see him, baby.
I've been down there all week.
And as
Shopping,
always, let's
wheeling,
get right
dealing.
into it.
Where the boys at? Where the boys at?
Come on, baby!
We start talking about the biggest bull of all, Trump. Look, hey, look, I don't care who you like. Everybody's got an opinion. I ain't mad at you, but hey, we won. And just like if I went on the golf course or whatever, I'm going to gloat a little bit.
Landslide.
I
Just
mean,
a complete ass whipping.
I mean, those polls don't mean anything. They mean nothing.
Nope.
Look at the betting line. Did you watch the betting line?
Oh, yeah, that's all I watched.
Yep. Betting
They
line.
had apps up. I was just watching what the bets were.
I saw him minus 200 about 4 days before, and then it switched a little bit, trying to go back the other way. Mm-hmm. And then the day of, it just kept going. Trump.
Wave.
Then that was...
If you saw that map, buddy,
And
they better retool on the other side of the aisle.
What are they going to do?
It don't matter. I don't give a shit.
Well,
Because what they do ain't going to matter for the next 4 years because we got control of everything, baby.
Everything.
Just clean it up. I just hope by the time he gets out, it's all just set for the next person to ease in and
That's what they're
continue
going to
it.
do. The Democrats are going to have to make a huge change. And if they don't, we ain't ever going to have to worry about it.
If COVID wouldn't have came, they'd been in 20 years before they got back in.
Oh, that's why
their
they
candidate is look at their candidates.
Yeah, they go. They tried Hillary. Bam. Sorry.
Yep.
And then COVID. They put COVID out. 100%. They did it.
Yeah.
They called China and said, China, put this
They
out.
brought Obama's little VP, white male,
And then
classic.
and then they try another woman, black woman, and I guess next where they going to try an immigrant.
I don't know.
Maybe an
I know
immigrant.
one thing. A woman ain't winning.
No, not winning.
It's got no offense.
No offense at all, but a woman.
But
should
if they
not
want
be
to keep
president.
throwing women out there to run, they ain't going to win president.
No,
Because first off, not all the women are going to vote for them.
dude,
Because women can't stand each other.
exactly.
And then they're
100%.
so emotional.
Look,
You don't.
you said it.
Bottom line.
Women can't stand women. That's the bottom line. So why do they keep trying just to prove a point? Just to prove a point?
I just think that they think that it's a good strategy. Because you would think it would make sense, but it doesn't. 0 for 2. Trump beat 2 women and lost to a stumbling, bumbling, dementia white male.
Yeah. Because of COVID.
Yeah. So now we're back. We're back, baby.
He goes in the office January.
Yeah, but like I was
watch.
telling Austin, he's going to have way more early control than normal transitions because we got control of the House and the Senate. So they're going to be way more peaceful knowing that if they want to be assholes for 2 months, they're just going to be a target when he's got full control.
Yeah.
So this is when you kiss ass right now, which is exactly what they're doing. Think about the last couple concessions
Hey,
or
get that Jimmy Kimmel
transitions.
Want me to pull it up?
Yeah.
They were not peaceful. The last transition of power, some bitch said it was the election was stolen. Motherfuckers marching down the road. Craziness happened. The time before, Hillary said, "Oh, Russia stole it from me." Didn't want to. It's just they're creating chaos, like basically saying they didn't lose. Think about it.
Yeah.
She's not saying, "Oh, this was." She's like, she got nothing. You can't say nothing negative. Not when you got the House, the Senate, and a son bitch coming back on the warpath that you just try to put in jail and stole the election from. Now he's in. That's crazy. He's got four off, back four. So
has that ever been done?
I don't know. I don't know enough about history in that way to know. I don't want to say one way or the other. But all I know is in my lifetime it hadn't gone like that.
Greatest comeback ever.
Yeah.
To be out
that's
4 years
bad
and come
news
back.
for the Democrats.
And they're gonna. That's what I said. They're
If
gonna
you
have
look
to
at like
restructure.
just the little sections they won compared to all the sections they lost, and where he outperformed in all those sections compared to the last two before this.
Yeah.
Shit.
Biden outperformed her. They pulled it up on the map.
Yeah.
To see where she outperformed him. There was not one spot.
Because Biden was an extension of Obama.
Yes.
And it was,
The COVID.
it's easy to correct. It was
all
easy
that stuff going
to
on.
get on board with that. They didn't have to worry about what they had to worry about with Harris and Hillary.
And then 4 years of that. It makes no sense to me that they don't understand what's going on, and the country is just tired of that shit. They're tired
They
of
don't
it.
want to understand, dude. All they want to do is take your fucking money. Everything's about money.
Yeah.
They take more. The Republicans take less.
Yeah.
The media's on their side. They try to make it seem like it's 50-50. It's never been 50-50. Way more than 50% of the country's always been Republican. They're the ones trying to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm just how it is. They have to collect all these different groups of people. The Republicans just got to kind of keep their home base solid.
Yeah.
And
That's
now
why they're-
and Trump revived it, because it was starting to get where we had all these old dudes that were out of touch with reality, and they're bringing on all these new Obama. He had no chance of beating that guy.
No.
He came on like a storm. Mm-hmm. And you got McCain's and shit, which I mean they're whatever, but now Trump's like reinvigorated the party and brought to light that you can't just trust politicians and just go pick one or the other and assume that they're going to do what's right for you. People are woke up now, man.
I want you to
They're
watch.
on to the bullshit.
Watch.
Everybody's questioning
Jimmy
everything.
Kimmel right here.
Crybaby mother.
Watch
he
this.
is.
It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth.
He's crying.
He's crying because he's scared as shit.
On the Diddy list.
Oh, he's on some list. I mean, look at
Epstein.
him, dude.
I mean,
It's coming out, buddy.
you ever cried
Have I ever cried?
over election?
No.
I mean, does he really think that?
He's
He
scared,
just hates
man.
Trump that bad?
He's scared of Trump that much.
They gave the kids in New York a day off after the election to grieve from school. I mean, is that real?
That's their last grasp for control, man.
I mean, that's real. I can't believe some of this stuff is even real.
Yep.
You give the school a day off to let the kids grieve? I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Over something they can't vote in.
Yeah. I guess because their parents are grieving, they need to grieve with them.
They're mind fucking them, man.
I don't see how. The world we live in, if the Democrats don't
Think
do
about where
something-
the school system was headed with them running this shit. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
So everybody's getting broker. Everything was costing more. So people that could probably afford private school, 5, 10, 20 years ago
Yeah.
are not even thinking about it anymore. So then, they force the kids in there. Then they start teaching all that crazy ass shit, and you don't even have to tell the parent that you're going to tell them what gender they can be.
Yeah.
That's some shit. Those people ought to go to jail.
And they run. They basically.
You think they're going to do that now?
Run their campaign off stuff like that.
Correct.
That's like, how can you be so stupid? I'm telling you, they got to be
It's
smart
not
enough.
stupid. It's sick. Is what it is, man. It's sick.
But they're going to be smart. They got to be. If they're not, I hope they're not. But they're going to switch gears, man. They're like, look, we this woke stuff. We know we got woke liberal.
Well, I can
liberals.
promise you one thing: when they go in there and they damn object to it in a public hearing, they're not going to get arrested. So now you're actually going to have parents and people that can say stuff, and they can figure out how to do it on local levels. That's what Trump's going to do. He's always tried to give control all the way down to local and state. That's how it's meant to be. Let the local and the state and the people where they live decide how they want it to be.
Correct.
And then if there's a huge ass, butting of heads, that's when the people above them step in. That's how it works. Versus like the dude at the top telling everybody what they want to do. That's some dictatorship shit, man. That's what they try to do. And then you go in and parents, going to defend their kid, and they're got to worry about getting arrested because they don't agree with somebody where they have to send them because they got to work. That's some shit. That's not freedom.
Yeah.
That's over. Thank God.
Thank goodness, man.
Thank God we didn't go to jail going crazy about it and just stayed silent and let God work his way in.
Trump's back. Hopefully now, even if they do, the Democrats, make a comeback. I think the only way they make a comeback is start using some common sense.
Correct.
That's the only way. If not, they're done.
The only problem is that this young little, what do we call it, millennial generation is come up through more of that shit than an old school way of doing things, which is I'm not about old school on everything, but I'm old school on manners and how to raise somebody and respect, and your mom and dad, you listen and you look, you have that level of respect.
Yeah.
It's like a South thing. But like this new millennial generation, is not like that, man. They came up on all this, just stupid shit.
Yeah, it's tough.
And so they don't think the way that our parents' generation thinks. So it's I don't know. It's a weird world out there. Hopefully it'll turn around.
Hate to have during this little past 4 years, let's just say, what do you say, 9-year-old or 10-year-old to 16-year-old, where you really know kind of what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, my daughter's about to be 9, and she had some sort of sense of what was going on in this election.
Yeah.
But not a lot. So, I mean, you got to be probably 12 to,
I'm trying to think.
Teenager to really, I mean, because you got to be getting on social media to be able to form your opinion. I mean, teenagers.
So, I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about this, how to bring up your kids and stuff like this when they hear something. And it was a guy, he's got 4 kids. He was actually on the Nelk Boys podcast. And he said his son put on his daughter's some little shiny glitter shoes. Same thing when we were the other night when we were over at Wisey's. And he said, how do you think I'm supposed to handle that? How would they want me to handle it? I said, well, I'm going to handle it like this, son. Those are girl shoes, okay?
Yeah.
You don't wear girl shoes, okay? You're a boy. He said, so, and he went and bought him a pair of cowboy boots. And he said he ain't taking the cowboy boots off. He goes, so does that make me I mean, what does that make me? He said, in my eyes, makes me a good parent, teaching my son the correct way.
Yeah.
Right there, right then and there.
Correct.
He said, the reason why all this goes on, a lot of, because now you got parents that literally will say, it's okay if you wear those shoes. If you want to wear those shoes.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's literally,
Yeah.
so you're tricking them. You're not being the parent you should be. Now, I guess they say the amount of percentage that somebody really grows up and thinks that is so little, but now it's so much more because of how people treat it.
Yeah.
You're literally telling them that's okay, and it's not okay. It's
I
not.
agree.
It's not okay. Now, if somebody does it, whatever, that's, I don't care, but keep it to yourself and don't tell the world that it's okay.
Correct.
Right? I'll be friends with you if you're a good person, whatever. That's fine. But I'm never going to think that that's how you should be, or it's the correct way, or how I'm going to raise my children.
Yeah.
Or you, just like that night when we were just running around and he just having a good time.
Yeah.
But you're in a world now where you have to, because he might hear it somewhere else.
Yeah. I was like, take those off right now.
Take them off. Take them off.
Yep. Go put your shoes on.
That's correct. Yeah. But I heard that after that night. And he's like, yeah, man. I went and bought him some cowboy boots, and he ain't taking them off yet. He loves them. He said, if I'm trying to do it the way they want me to do it, I mean, he might have switched right there. He was 4 years old.
The counselor would have told him to.
Yeah.
In California.
No doubt. No doubt.
Sick
Dude, I
shit,
learned
man.
another thing about California. And I think Austin's one who told me we were sitting there, literally no crime. Like, you can steal up to something for $1,000 and not get in trouble.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
You can theft up to $1,000
You can.
without any kind of repercussion.
Nothing. That's a law.
That's the state where Kamala used to be the DA.
Yes.
Yep.
And
California.
people want to know why they lost. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
No shit.
That's crazy that they really thought they could put Kamala in and win. They knew Biden can win, but how in the world? I guess they're just thinking if they put a black woman in, maybe they had a chance, but they didn't. Trump went in there and won by a landslide, and we got us 4 good years coming up. I mean, they already didn't they already say, Austin, that they're calling for I think he's gonna pull it up.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to
Calls for immediate end to war after Trump wins the election.
Oh yeah, these some bitches ain't messing around
And
with him,
everybody
man.
wanted to ask him, how are you gonna do it? He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to tell you.
No.
Just put it this way: they know.
They 100% know. He just looked at Joe Rogan and he goes, I'll call him and tell him to stop.
That's it. Seriously, he's gonna just give them one warning.
Like, dude, I'm not playing around, man.
We don't start shit. We intervene and stop.
Stop.
That's what we've always been known for.
Correct.
Except when you get these crooked some in that send them over to these fake, bullshit over something stupid, and that's it's been done before, but
Yeah.
yeah, Trump's it's on.
Yeah,
It's
bring us
about to all
back,
change. I feel like just major news networks are just about to become insignificant. Like, who wants to listen to them anymore?
Yeah.
Everybody
Nobody
knows
listens.
that it's all Democratic. Everybody knows nobody is with them. I mean, just look, okay, I want to do research on this because this is the kind of stuff I don't even understand, why it ended up being this way, how they came up with this system. Obviously, they did it for a reason, but the electoral votes
Yeah.
and, why this is, it's obviously due to population. They count as more versus they count as less.
Correct.
But like, go look at the states. Austin, pull this up. I think
Talking
she
to
won
Mike.
12 states, maybe. Count them. maybe 11.
They still haven't
Out of-
called the other two?
So out of 50 states, how many did Trump win? 39?
He won Nevada and Arizona. They're saying they're not called yet, but that's the swing
One,
states.
two.
He won all the swing states.
The blue ones.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12.
There they are right there.
He won 16. She won 16.
One, yeah, because he's got a bunch over there, top right. So, and
I-
what,
I
and what
was-
was the popular vote? Because he won it, but look, she only won 16 states. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, 73.5 million to what is that? 69 million. So
Yeah.
even on popular votes, and she only won 16 states.
I mean, just think if it just went off states, I mean, it would never even be close. I mean, that just goes to show you how the country thinks versus how areas think.
correct,
So
100%.
you know, I would
the whole
love
country.
I would love to see. I'd obviously love to see more choices, and I'd love to see it more based off that.
She won Hawaii.
Because each state's got their own, you know, laws and, you know, different ways of doing things.
Correct.
Right? So why shouldn't it be more based on why shouldn't it be divided more that way?
Of what?
Of the way these electoral votes are. The only reason it's ever even close is because they strategically get up into these areas that got all these, you know, bigger amounts of votes.
Yeah.
Like Obama, that's why it's important that you have time to prepare.
Correct.
Like Harris didn't have that much time to go have much strategy involved in how, like Obama had all that time to be like, okay, we got to go win this, you know, county outside this big city in
Correct.
Pennsylvania and Ohio, and he flipped Ohio through Cleveland. Like he had all these, it was real strategic, man.
Yes.
And so you got, and
But
that's
the thing
scary to
is-
think about, man. That's how you win versus what the majority of the people actually really think.
Correct.
You know?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a strategic thing. I mean, in Trump, they
it's-
said, you know, his campaign was probably one of the greatest of all time. You know, but obviously too, I don't think if Kamala had 2 years to prepare and get ready for this, it would have mattered. 'Cause she's
Okay,
just
well,
so
the bottom
stupid.
line is too is all through that red, that all those people care about is how much shit cost.
Yeah.
And what their money's doing.
Economy.
Because they're grinding.
Yes.
You know, these areas that are highly blue, you know, these are rich, you know, areas where it costs a ton to live. So most of these people got a lot of money,
Yeah. you
know, and it's just the economy gets that bad. That was just bottom line in the discussion. Anybody will tell you that's why they lost.
Why do you think some of the richest people in the world and most famous are Democrats?
I can't answer that question.
Just they're in the machine.
In the machine, man. They're in to make money.
I mean, I know I got some older friends that have a ton of money, and man, they're Democrats, and it's basically they just want to take, like you said, take the money, give to the, I guess, immigrants and poor, and don't care, I guess, about the economy. And it basically is, to me, it's the middle class and whatever that they don't care about.
Well, yeah, they just erased the middle class.
Yeah.
The way that they just did the entire economy after they got rid of Trump. The housing market went way up. Rates went way up. A $200,000 or $300,000 house, the same house is worth $450,000, $500,000, and it's owned by banks renting them to people that work every day. I mean, that's a fact. Everybody knows if you got into real estate before this last little wave, you made a killing. That was where it was at. But now the housing market, it went like we were investing in Airbnbs, okay? while Trump.
Gotcha.
Okay. By the time it switched, we sold all these Airbnbs that made money, like a lot. Okay. So then we go get more. Well, then we're looking at all these properties on the beach, this, that. And you're like, that same exact house that has not changed one bit just went from 600,000 to 850,000.
Yeah.
And now it's $1 million. At like what point does it it's just too much
With
for
the
the property
interest rate.
Correct. So it goes to show you what happened.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It don't make no sense unless all the people with the money went and bought those. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You buy stuff and you raise the price. It's what you do. That's what the rich people do.
Yeah.
And they're just investing. It's just an investment.
We're back now, baby. We are
The
back.
smart ones diverse like that. You don't just put it at Merrill Lynch. They're just putting it in some fund.
The machine.
Yeah.
The machine. Well, we got us a big weekend coming up in Oxford, sir.
I can't wait.
I mean,
The weather's not going to be bad now. It changed. It slowed the storm. Good. No rain. Which I was kind of worried about earlier in the week. I was like, damn, man, that's going to ruin a bunch of good games. That weather, that storm coming up
Yep.
through. Baton Rouge and Oxford were right on line with it.
you think so the weather holds off. Let's see what right now. Well, okay, it's pulling up. Yeah, 54%. It's showing 54% on Ole Miss
ESPN.
as a matchup predictor. And if the weather holds off, and if it was going to rain, that was going to kill us, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it would have turned into just a grind game. I don't know that the biggest thing I kind of taken in from a X and O standpoint,
Yeah.
watching these two teams play some big games and better teams this year,
Yeah.
is I think both of them can't block each other up front. I think both defensive lines are going to dominate the offensive lines. I'm loving the under. What's the total?
It's 2.5,
And we've been an under
I'll
team
look it up.
all year.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. I think it's going to be low scoring.
And
And I think Lane will be completely fine with it being low scoring close until the very end after getting killed. Like he just wants a chance in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Here we go, right here. Total 55.5.
That's unbelievable.
55 and a half.
Way too many. Like
Yeah.
don't even try to predict who's going to win the game because both defenses are good. Our defense is, dude, we had not given up more than like 10 points in the first half of any game except like one or two, and it was because we gave up like an offensive interception to the house or something, like a non-defense. And every game but one, we've had a turnover for a touchdown in the first half or a turnover and started our team in the red zone. So think about that.
Yeah.
Our defense has basically won the first half of every game without our offense even being on the field if they never touched the ball. I mean, think about that.
Yeah. And our defense is solid, man.
Now we've had a little bit of second half breakdown and didn't look as good.
And I think that's coaching, man.
Well, I mean, usually when you come out stopping, they adjust one way. The question is if they come out scoring, can you adjust and start stopping?
Yes.
That's the hard part.
If we don't win this game, what's the biggest game Kiffin's ever won?
When he beat Alabama that one time at Ole Miss.
He didn't
He
beat
didn't
them.
beat Alabama.
Didn't beat 'em.
I want to say
The biggest game, LSU at Oxford.
Was he not their head coach?
No, that's Freeze.
we don't have like
That
a
was
lot
Freeze.
of huge wins like over
That's what I'm
over
saying.
big teams besides LSU.
He's got to win a big game.
Auburn last year was big on the road, kind of midway through the year.
But they were no good.
They weren't that good,
Yeah,
but
they weren't that good. So I'm saying you can't name where. I mean, this is a must win. All right, going to LSU right there.
at Tennessee, the
big
Corral
game.
year was a big win.
That was a big win, but it's still that was 2 years ago. Okay, it was a big win, But
I mean, I would say against Penn State last year in the bowl game.
Penn State, but
Because we lost the other New Year's Six bowl, it didn't really matter.
Correct. And they had some players sitting out. So, yes, it's a good win, but I'm talking about a big win that makes you an elite coach. All I hear is he's an elite coach. He's an elite coach.
Well, I mean, let's just ask this.
It's time to show up and be elite.
Have we won a game as an underdog under Kiffin?
I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know.
Were we underdog? We weren't an underdog with LSU last year. Probably not.
Not at home. We
Not
weren't.
at home.
No.
Yeah.
Daniel, no. We were favored
That's
by.
a good stat. I don't know. Austin did.
It's live right now.
Oh, we got Trump up here. What's he saying?
Campaign of absolute hate. And, you know, I said yesterday that she's a vessel. She is a vessel. It's a very big, powerful
Chief of
party
Staff that he just elected.
with smart people.
Susie
Very smart.
Wiles.
You know how many
But it's vicious
people he has to
and vicious.
appoint? It's over 10,000.
Yeah. The tentacles of it is 10,000.
Yeah.
I've watched the Rogan. Yep.
Yeah, that was good, man. And to think, and it's like I said, the first time he got in, he didn't know. He just had to listen to people. Now he knows.
He does.
Now he knows. But you know, getting back on football, it's time for him to step up right here and win this football game. If you're gonna be one of the best,
I feel like this is the most complete team he's ever had to beat a big boy. Because we have the physical people. I just
Correct.
don't know, man, about our offensive line. Worries me. Like
Yeah.
I swear, I think that's what cost us the Kentucky and LSU game.
100%.
And maybe that's why the play calling was so bad. And obviously, you adjust your play calling to your offensive line, especially as the year wears on. You can't use that as an excuse anymore.
Yes.
You just got to get the ball out quicker, run it more, or whatever. You got to figure out other ways to score. Last week, we obviously saw some weakness in their deep ball defense. So that was nice.
And
But
Georgia got the way they killed Texas. It was just because they just killed them. The defensive line just killed them.
well, to me, we're in the spot Georgia was on the Texas game. We're Georgia. We're back against the wall. You have to win.
Yes.
Georgia's done if they don't win that game because they got to play us and Tennessee still with 2 losses. Mm-hmm. They would have just been in a bad spot. They knew that their season was on the line. So now we know, like we're playoff or bust this year.
Correct.
And a lot of pieces fell into place over the last 3 weeks for us.
To still get in at two,
even with
two
us
losses.
losing to LSU, to have where we're basically 78% chance to get in the playoffs with a win this week. So I feel like we're in if we win.
Biggest game. Do you think it's the biggest game Ole Miss has ever played?
Besides the LSU Eli game, yeah.
We lost.
Because the Arkansas game that we lost that would have put us
Yes.
in the SEC championship game, we didn't know that was going to shake out that way with Auburn beating Bama.
Got you.
It was after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't like, we win, we're going to Atlanta. Like, that game, we were already thinking we were out of it, really.
Yeah.
Because you didn't expect Bama to lose.
Correct.
But, I mean,
This
that
is,
LSU
to me,
game with Eli.
To me,
on
this is the
missed
biggest
kick.
game.
We go to
Ole
Atlanta that
Miss-
year. We win. We've never been to an SEC championship game.
Yeah, this is the biggest game Ole Miss has ever played. I mean, I don't way back. I guess I mean we have a national championship, but it's
A couple of them.
and that's all just different nowadays. Especially with this new playoff system, this is the biggest game we've ever played.
We
And-
could be in a playoff game and never had been to an SEC championship game.
correct.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Who's going to be in the SEC championship? You think?
Bama and Texas.
So you think
If Georgia loses to us, if Georgia wins out, it's going to be Texas and Georgia, unless A&M beats Texas.
what about
Right now, you got A&M, Texas, and Georgia with 1 loss. LSU's got 1 loss in the SEC.
Gotcha.
Bama's got 2 losses. We got 2 losses.
Yeah.
So Bama beats LSU, which I'm not so sure they are with the way that line's moving.
Yeah.
So LSU's the one that's got a chance to play their way in.
And their quarterback's good.
Yeah, he is.
He's good. He's better than what he was expected to be. He's good. And
LSU's just got consistency issues. They're inconsistent.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to beat a good team over 4 quarters.
It's hard to.
But
Man, I can't.
Tiger
believe Bama's
Stadium at
favorite.
night is. Well, I mean, they're
We
only
saw
favored by
that.
2.5 now, so it's not really.
Yeah.
They're
Still.
giving them to you now.
They still, I'm going back and forth. Those are the type of games I like.
I know. I was thinking the whole time, how do you just not go put a chunk on Bama here and make them get beat?
Yeah.
But then when it dropped to 2.5, I got nervous.
It just seems like this is a spot for Ole Miss that they're going to win. I just have that. I told you, I go on feeling, and it just feels like a spot that Ole Miss is going to win because I want to go put a large amount of money on Georgia money line.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, but it's a spot. It's so many times in history that I would have done it. I mean, it seems like that Bama spot with Freeze. I mean, I had Bama money line loaded that year.
Oh, yeah.
Get beat. A couple other spots. I mean, with Bama, when I loved Bama over Tennessee, it's kind of this kind of same scenario. Okay, Bama's went to Tennessee, got beat.
I mean, you think about Georgia this year, they've barely won like all these games and didn't play that well a lot. Like, I mean, even last week, if Florida's quarterback doesn't get hurt, shit, they might have lost. They were
Yeah.
getting dominated. The only game they dominated,
was Texas.
correct. I mean, Bama went up 28-0 on them. So, I mean, they did storm back, but
Yeah,
they got jumped on. So they hadn't been consistent this year. Georgia lost a lot of players, and their quarterback is not near as good as everybody thinks without that offensive line he had last year. He's not that good.
correct.
I'm telling you, dude, he ain't that good. Like, he ain't getting drafted and shit like they thought. He should have gone pro. His stock just went way down. He underestimated how many weapons. Think about how good Ladd, McConkey, and Bowers, that tight end, were. I mean, dude, those dudes are like instant game day starters in the NFL right now. They're playing, like, and making an impact. And then he had 2 good tailbacks. In the offensive line, they had the whole damn line was huge. Ole Miss didn't touch him. We were sitting there. He didn't have one piece of mud on him. But now this year, he's getting all his balls batted down. They're throwing quick passes. He's just not as accurate as everybody thought he was because people aren't running wide open and shit. I mean, last week against Florida, he threw 2 or 3 picks in the first half. You give our defense that. That's the one thing about our defense is we're really good up front. And, I think we're opportunistic in the back half. If they throw it up, we're going to catch it.
Yeah. Trey Harris, is he done for the season?
I don't know.
He's not playing this week, right?
I have no idea.
I don't
watch injury.
no.
I don't look at injury reports until
He did
Friday
dress
or Saturday.
out last week. He did dress out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm the
he
same
should
way.
he should be coming back, but maybe that is why the line dropped because he may be playing. I mean, that's huge if he's out for us.
Yeah.
Even though we've played without him a little bit. If we got him, he's the best receiver in the country. So it just opens everybody else up who's been getting the ball more the last couple of weeks. So their confidence should be riding high. But I think Kiffin's going to try to run the ball, man. Or Weiss.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're going to try to slow this game down.
We just got to get in there and play just good, solid football and not turn it over. I mean, that's what everybody's going to say, but that's it. That's the bottom line. And we got to get this win. If he doesn't get this win, when is he going to get the big win? When is he going to get over the hump?
Won't be this year.
That's correct.
Then next year you're coming back without Dart and Harris.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But, I mean, he still has never proven of that big win. So this game is just, can he handle the pressure, man?
And he hadn't won at the other places he's at either.
No.
So he's not a proven winner. I mean, he is at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Because we won back, 2 10-win seasons.
Correct.
I mean, his win percentage is ridiculously good.
I'll keep him till the end of time. No
No
doubt.
doubt. Like I'm not knocking him at all. I think it's got a lot to do with the teams he coached. I mean, the Raiders,
Yeah.
you know, USC when it was down, Tennessee when it was down, like
Correct.
then he went he
Florida
won
Atlantic,
it. He
he did
won at
win.
Florida Atlantic, and
Yeah.
then I mean he's done well at Ole Miss, but yeah, now it's like, okay,
It's time to get over the hump.
can you take down Kirby?
If you want to be up there with them, this
You got to take down
gotta win
Kirby
these
and
tight games.
Sarkisian. You got to start beating Texas and Bama and Georgia, and that's it.
Yeah. 2:30 game. We didn't get a night game all year. I think we had one early on. It started at like 5 or something. I have to go look. Maybe. But not one home conference night game. That's bullshit, man.
That is bullshit.
That
What time is Mississippi State game? On Friday.
2:30?
On Friday
Yeah.
afternoon of Thanksgiving?
Yep. 2:30, which but still, this was the perfect
This was
game.
the one.
But we just happened to be up against LSU Bama game. If not,
Which is kind of, been it was the biggest rivalry. Now Georgia and Bama kind of overtook it, but Georgia and Bama don't play every year.
and it's all
and
TV.
LSU,
It's all
Bama
TV
does.
and money. And of course, they wanted. I don't know which one you pay for more. I guess a 2:30 game or a 6:30.
I mean, dude,
I don't know.
Bama and LSU have 3 times the following as Ole Miss
Yes.
and Georgia combined. I mean, let's give it. I mean,
But you
geez.
gave LSU a big night game with us, and then they get another one. Dude, that is just huge, man. The only time it's loud in Oxford, and I promise you,
Is
is
night
a
game.
night game that's good and close.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. If besides that, I promise you.
And it gets you. It can get you over the hump in a big game, like that
Oh,
A&M game
yes.
2 years ago. I was at that night game. It was howling in there, buddy.
100%.
We were playing awful on offense, and our defense just grinded us through that game. It was the
Yes.
Corral year, actually.
But it's so much harder to hear on offense. I mean, that's what happened. That's why we lost LSU. 1,000,000% why we lost.
Couldn't hear.
Because couldn't hear. Couldn't hear.
It started getting nasty,
And
up
it's
in there in the
not
fourth
going to
quarter.
be that loud at 2:30 in Oxford. Just not. It just
Not
it's
unless
not.
we're in
It's
the
hard
lead.
for them to even
in the second half.
correct. At nighttime, everybody's gotten in that sauce more. It's nighttime. It's just Oxford can actually get halfway decent. This just kills us being 2:30, and with the weather, it seems like it's going to be better, but I promise you, those Ole Miss type people, it might be raining. I don't want to get my outfit wet. I hate to say it, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Nah.
Am I wrong? More worried about what you're
you
going
don't
to
know who's
wear
gonna- you don't
or
know
what
what-
you're going to look like.
Have
than-
any idea how our crowd's going to be?
Correct. So, it's just something that, man, I've talked about it 1,000,000 times, and it just bothers me, man. It just bothers me. And then this is one of those games that I told you, 8 years and older. Yeah, that's it.
They're not allowed.
you got to be
Cut 'em
8 and
off.
up, 8 and up to get in this game.
Turn them around.
Yeah.
It's like a movie theater.
Yeah.
They have to show your ID.
It'll be packed, and if it's not raining, that'll be the only thing that holds it back a little bit.
The only way we're going to win this game is if we're just better than them.
Correct.
Which on paper, in Vegas's eyes, we're almost as good as Georgia. Our numbers they've been giving us respect all year. Even right now we got respect. It just moved over a football number. For it to go to 4.5 to 2.5.
Yeah.
That's some heavy poundage on the Rebels.
Yeah. Who's going to
Of
be
people
there.
that know about numbers and odds too.
Yeah. Well, you got SEC Nation. It's going to be in Oxford. Okay. Game days at LSU Bama, and then Barstool's college football program. Thing. They're going to be there. So Portnoy and Big Cat and old Brandon Walker.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see what he's got to say coming in there. I'm sure he's going.
He's going to talk shit.
He's going to talk
get
shit.
killed.
I tried to get the boxing match lined up, couldn't get it done. He's just scared.
Yeah,
but
he should be.
they're going to be there. They're going to be behind the baseball field in left field.
Okay.
That's where they're
Yeah.
going to be set up. I'm anxious to see how all that goes down. I imagine they're headed there. I imagine they're there today.
I'm sure they are.
I posted our little our old design we did for Portnoy.
Especially with it being a 2:30 game. Shit, they're going to be out there at 6:30.
I'm sure that Portnoy and Kiffin are doing something together today. You know Kiffin, he eats this shit up.
Oh, yeah.
So they're gonna be doing. I know they'll probably get a tour of the facilities and all that, and I'm sure he's gonna get up in the mix because Kiffin's not missing out on something like that.
No,
with
man,
Portnoy.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
It's just better publicity for recruiting and stuff.
Correct.
That's what makes Kiffin Kiffin.
Correct.
That's what players like.
Yep. Kiffin's just got to be. He's just got to learn how to get better. To me, I guess better coaches in there. If he doesn't win this game, he can get the players. He can do all that.
Well, you got to realize when you start winning, people take your people. Just look, all his coordinators have been took. I mean, this is Weiss's second year. I was bitching bad the first half of the year about the play calling.
Yeah.
I've been griping, because he's a younger new dude. Like Kiffin's giving him the range. He's wanting to have his own people. But I mean, they took Levy, they took DJ Durkin. I mean, all the guys he got are gone. I mean, you gotta realize you start winning, or you're a known hot commodity coach that's got that style that seems to be being, working and wanting to be emulated, just like Kirby. I mean, all his stable gone. That's Saban's stable gone. I mean, that's who you're gonna look for. I mean, if that's what I'd be doing,
I didn't realize
because they see how they run their program and they want them to come do that at their spot.
Yeah. Indiana's coach was under Saban.
Yeah, you hear he said all I do is win.
Yeah.
Florida, all I do is win. Florida,
Yep.
y'all want to win? Just come get me.
Correct.
That's who Florida's gonna get.
And they came out. The AD came out for Florida and said that they don't mean anything. Doesn't mean you can't fire them.
No,
You can fire somebody anytime.
anytime.
So
Pay 'em off.
I think they just did that for maybe recruits that he might have coming, not wanting through this last little stretch to have that going on. Because, just say, look.
I'm glad their
how
quarterback got
can-
hurt
how
because
could
I'm
you
telling you,
not
they were
fire the
looking
guy?
scary against Georgia, man. Like they got some younger talent on their team.
But, dude, he's done nothing.
No shit.
This day and time, you should not, I guess, I don't know how it all works with when they do contracts, but you literally, this day and time, you can get there and build a team with 1 year. That's what scares me with Frosty and Freeze. That's what we call him. He's got one more year. That's it.
That's it.
Unless they can, if they could.
Especially with the way this year is panning out. I mean,
Correct.
they're damn near the worst team in the whole league.
It's
Like Vanderbilt's better than them.
We got money. Auburn's got tons of money. That's
You're
what
like
I'm saying.
Vandy's better than us.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt is better in football than us.
And you could have bought who'd you want for quarterback? You saw the quarterback last year for Auburn. He was no good. How in the world do you not go get a quarterback from somewhere?
Yeah.
From somewhere. They would have given him any amount of money. I promise you they would have. They got tons of money. So he just getting back to this is Indiana's. This is his first year. Look what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's 8-0. 8 or 9-0. I don't know how many games they played. But he hadn't lost a game. It's his first year. There was another coach.
Dude, he comes from where is it? Hold on, what's the name of that school he came from? They're so good. And look, he brought like half the damn team with him.
Yeah.
They never lose, but they're still like undefeated again this year. Like he left enough good players there, they still barely lost.
Oh, it was
What's the name of the school?
Madison?
Yep, James Madison.
James Madison. Yep.
James Madison. Mm-hmm. So that's like Urban Meyer shit. Like, he was Bowling Green, Utah, boom, Florida, Ohio State.
Yep.
Second best coach in the history of college football.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you do. I mean, you want to get those guys that know how to take those damn no names and make them competitive.
Yeah, but
Freeze
this day
did that back. That was what to
Yeah,
me
but
was
it was
so
the old
impressed
school.
about Freeze is he was good. taking teams that weren't that good and making them compete.
Correct, because it was old school. This is new age, and you better do it within a year or 2 years.
And you better score.
Yeah.
They can't score.
Oh no, correct.
I mean, it's amazing how many SEC teams can't score. Like I'm telling you, Tennessee can't score. Like that either. They're good. Even Ole Miss this year struggled. Think about it. The games that we didn't play well in, like we didn't score good.
Yeah.
We didn't get blown out. I mean, we didn't lose a high score and tight game. We've lost both games by 3, and they were both way under the total. Way, way under.
Oregon have anybody left besides when they play in the championship?
No, they're going undefeated.
And they're going to play.
Their schedule's easy.
They'll play Ohio State again.
If Ohio State stays under, Ohio State's got to play Indiana.
Yeah.
So Indiana right now.
So if Ohio State goes undefeated the rest of the year, they're going to be playing Oregon in the championship game.
So then you got Indiana and Penn State sitting over to the side in that conference with 1 loss, not in the championship game. And all the SEC teams sitting out of the championship game got 2 losses.
Correct.
So that's going to be the 2 conferences they pick out of. Because right now, but then also too, the ACC has got Miami and SMU undefeated. SMU just hopped us.
Yeah.
So now
they all said, we go to this, which I love, because it was so hard picking 4 teams. It's going to be harder. This is going to be harder. And there's going to be a lot of teams get their feelings hurt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams. So, and that goes back on mine and your point is these, just say Indiana or some of these teams, SMU, have 1 loss against a 2-loss team, and it's going to be some committee that picks. But it should be the odds makers.
Yeah.
If that team, if the odds maker, you say, okay, we got these 2 teams. All right, what would y'all put the odds on them? All right,
I agree. Because they basically get to pick 7 teams. You got 5 auto bids. They get 7 teams.
Correct.
So it's supposed to be the 7 best teams.
Yep.
That's how it's
7
supposed to be.
best.
7 best. They just took away the conference champion. They gave if you're a conference champion and you're inside the top 12, like Boise right now, you get in.
Get in, but there'll be 12.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
So you give a little Cinderella a chance. They got it. That's a decent, like you said, odds makers.
Yeah. And so you got these teams with 1 loss. You say, well,
Shit,
who would be
Georgia
favored?
with 3 losses would be favored.
Yeah, 100%. But you want the best teams.
Correct.
I want the best teams. And I think that's how it should. That should be a factor. It might be a little factor, but it should 100% be a factor. And say, look, just because they have 1 loss and this team has 2 losses,
Because they thought it was
better?
political before.
Who's
on
better?
4, how political you think it's about to be? You gonna leave Alabama out?
Yeah. It's about to get good.
Alabama and Ohio State are 100% never missed the playoff. Notre Dame 1 loss, all they're in.
Yep. It's gonna get really
Notre
good.
Dame ain't beat anybody.
Yeah, I kind of went. We get really excited. Football's back. Then it kind of lulls out. We get some good games. I'm kind of back now. This week, here we go. We got. There's really only 2 good games. That's it. You go down the whole card. All right, you got 2 good games. That's it. Last week wasn't very good at all.
Nope.
All right, so I kind of went into this little lull. We got 2 good games this week. Back into a little lull, and then this 12-team playoff is going to be so exciting if they get it right.
Yeah.
If they put the right teams in and they get it right, that's going to be the funnest. March Madness of college football. And March Madness is one of the greatest sporting events of all time.
No doubt.
I don't even like basketball that much, but March Madness, it's
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. I'd like them to even get more than 12 teams in the shorten the season up.
With the new transfer, man, you can see that there's some high quality teams through that 2025, man.
Correct.
And last year it started to really show the last couple
Then
years.
you get some more Cinderella possibilities.
Yeah.
And it's a money
Because
thing.
last year going into the playoff, you had no idea, out of those top 6, all of them could have won it.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been like that.
And they can say whatever they want. I promise you, this is not about the college athlete, school and all that. This is a money thing now.
Yeah.
It's nothing but a money thing. That's it. And they
All right. Well, let's just go through right now and tell me, who do you think are the top 4 teams?
top 4 teams. My just straight off the top of my head, the top 4 teams are Oregon, number 1. Okay. And then I'm coming with, man, after this week would be way easier to do this.
So if Oregon was playing Bama or Ohio State or Georgia, you would say Oregon's going to win the game.
At a neutral site,
Yeah.
I would say they would be favored.
I
don't ever know.
I just want to say who you think that's going to win.
Well, yeah, I would pick, if it's just a pick 'em.
Your eye test. Who's the just give me the 2 best teams you've seen with your eyes.
With my eyes, I mean, Oregon. I'm still sticking with Oregon just because I love their head coach, man.
Yeah.
I love their head coach, and that means so much. It's like the Detroit Lions head coach. I mean, those guys. I mean, it's like Kirby, okay? Those guys, I mean, that means so much. I talked about this on the podcast last year, okay, about getting your team fired up. Remember? Yeah. And you looked at me and you said, man, if you can't get fired up yourself, then, you know, but I'm still just thinking about it right now. Some people need that.
Yeah.
You got Kirby Smart or Dan what's his name? Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
For Oregon. And what's the Detroit Lions coach name? If I got those guys in there doing what they do, on top of me getting myself fired up, it's a whole nother level, man.
Yeah.
Kiffin can't do that. Kiffin can't do that.
The best thing about getting a group fired up is it makes them want to fight more for each other.
Yeah.
Once they get out there, when things don't go good, they're still going to be, one of them's going to be upbeat, like, side, you know, kind of, you know, rallies the troops. You're still going to have that negativity out of individuals, but the goal is to get the group to get him, pick him up.
All these guys, everything's getting more even. So it's all about the coach to me. Okay, you got to. Everybody can get good players, all right? And I'm just.
It's huge.
That's why we're sitting here talking about it. Kiffin doesn't have that quality. He is a smart goober. Okay, that's to me. That's what he is, and he likes to be. He wants to be in the public eye, persuaded of this swagness and all that. But he's so smart. Okay, he just can't be that way.
Yeah.
He can be an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that.
It's games like it's games like Kentucky that you need him to be more that way. Not Georgia. Like the players, it's not going to be hard to get up for this game.
Correct.
But the
Correct.
Kentucky 11:30 game, that's when you need. You got to have somebody huffing and hounding in through there, making sure you're coming out freaking ready.
No doubt. And we weren't.
Nope.
We weren't. To lose that game, that's on the coach, man.
Oh, I
don't
mean,
care.
we got out
That's on the
coached in that
coach.
game for sure. We
Yeah.
got X and O to the ground.
So getting back to, that's why I like Oregon. Okay, I think when you talk about Oregon, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State.
What about Texas?
I don't think Texas is that good.
Okay, I mean, I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of people say that lately
Yeah.
that I listen to. I've had a lot of negative Texas input.
Yeah, I don't think they're that good.
You think
The
it's just-
quarterback thing is terrible to me. It's terrible. I can't. What's going to happen next year? He's got Ewers. He's got another year. Why in the world? There's no way they don't play Archie next year. I don't care if Ewers is better.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to give Archie something. You got to say, okay, this is your ball. Yours. There's no. Who's going to pick him up? I don't.
Oh,
think
he'll transfer and he'll just do a transfer and play 1 year somewhere, like
got
Penn
to.
State or something.
He's got to
Some big school pay him $2 million.
go.
Shit, I'll take him. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dart's gone. Give me Ewers next year. I'd take him over Arch for a year.
Yeah, I hadn't
Just
watched him
saying,
enough.
Arch may be the one transferring.
And it doesn't look like their offense. Like, I just don't think what I've seen, the little bit I've seen, I don't think he's not a, quarterback's going to come in and change things. Okay. So anyway, I think that has a lot to do with what's going on in Texas. He always has that pressure of, if I don't do right, here comes Arch.
Yeah.
That's
him
mental,
getting hurt
man.
messed him up.
Yeah. No, yeah.
They were riding high off that Michigan win early in the year. Like,
And then to put him in the Georgia game right in the middle, how do you think that makes you feel?
yeah.
I mean, and everybody's different mentally. Okay?
I've never liked the two quarterback
Everybody's different.
system.
Some people that might piss them off and they're fixing to go in the game and they can switch another gear. Some people aren't built that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you could tell there was, even when they were sitting down on the sidelines together in that game, if you were boys, you're competing for the same job, all this, and you're in the biggest game of your life, I would think they would be
Talking
more. Okay, but it wasn't. So that type stuff, I believe, is what's going on with Texas right now. Okay, so I think Texas is done. All right, they have no chance.
You think A&M's going to beat them?
Yes,
You do?
yes.
And so
Where
that's-
is the game?
I think it's at Texas.
That's going to be a good one. Texas A&M, I believe it's going to be a good game, but I believe Texas A&M can beat them. And now, if it was at Texas A&M, we need to look that up. Look that up, Austin. See where that game is. Texas A&M, Texas, because that's going to be a good one.
Because
But
I could tell you what could be really crazy if you think about it. So Ole Miss beats Georgia this weekend
okay,
at
Oh,
A&M.
yes.
Okay, so and then LSU does win at home at night this weekend, right?
Okay.
So then if A&M beats Texas, A&M and LSU play the title game.
correct.
So you got 2-loss
Bama.
Georgia,
No, 3 losses.
Tennessee, Ole
Bama.
Miss. No, Bama would be 3
3
losses.
losses.
So
They'll be
they'll
done.
be out.
Yep.
The loser of the LSU Bama game's out of the playoff.
Got you.
And then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, who do you put in? It could really shut
Oh,
things
it's going
up.
to get good. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, to think that Bama, Texas, Georgia, or Ole Miss, all 4 of those wouldn't, and then Tennessee wouldn't win the SEC.
yeah. There's going to be spots.
Holy shit! I wonder what A&M and LSU's odds were at the beginning of the year to win the SEC.
There's spots where going into the championship game, obviously, you have a chance if you win that championship game because you're automatically in. So that's a big deal. But there's going to be a spot where teams go into the championship game where if they wouldn't have been in the championship game, they would have been in.
Ain't no doubt. Like
So
Penn
like
State.
Penn State's they're pretty much in.
I think that one of the biggest things I would be doing when I'm picking between people
Yeah.
is if you lost to an already in playoff team
Yeah.
at home, you shouldn't be in the playoff.
I agree.
So like Penn State would fit into that criteria to me. Okay, Ohio State gets in the playoff,
Yep.
which they probably will. What Penn State shouldn't be in if they lost at home to a playoff team. Like somebody like, and I'm not just saying Ole Miss because I'm an Ole Miss fan. They would
Yeah.
be like, okay, we lost to Kentucky and LSU,
Yep.
but we beat Georgia, who may still end up in the playoff with
Correct.
2 losses.
Yep.
And so you kind of proven you can win it.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't get rematches if you lost at home.
That's right. Well,
Now-
if
now,
Oregon
like-
beats Ohio State,
Like Ohio State going to Oregon losing
Yeah.
by a point, that they shouldn't get punished for
but if
that
they get
much.
beat twice by Oregon,
Oh, they're out.
can't put it them with 2
Can't
losses.
put them in.
They lost to the number 1 team in the country twice.
Yeah, you gonna give them
But-
3 chances to try to beat them? Like
Yeah.
that ain't fair.
Yeah, I agree.
They may do it, but I think that should tie into it. You know, like Boise has 1 loss and they got them in the top 12 and they're not going to lose another game. They don't play anybody worth the shit.
Yeah.
But their 1 loss was at Oregon by 3.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's almost like a win.
Yeah. Correct.
Like that made everybody think, okay, they're actually good. So they're going to probably get in, man.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt the SEC. They didn't need Boise to jump in.
Correct.
It was huge Clemson losing,
Who would be the other conference though? Because the 5th spot is a conference champion winner outside of the Big Four conferences.
Boise.
I know, but I'm saying you said there's going to be somebody there no matter what.
No, it wasn't going to be somebody. They have to be inside the top 12. So before Boise just pole vaulted, like those Memphises and all them,
they don't have to be inside the top 12.
That's why I told y'all it's just the 5th conference. It's the 5th conference champion inside the top 12. So if like Memphis wins their conference and they're ranked 25th, they're not getting in the playoff.
So what if Boise there was no teams inside the top 12?
They wouldn't get in. You just have 4 conference champions.
Right. I don't think that's right.
You'd have 4 conference champions, and then it would be 8 at-larges.
Yeah.
Versus 7 at-larges.
Because here's the way it works. That conference champion, I think it's the highest ranked conference champion. Okay?
Maybe it is highest ranked.
It's highest ranked conference champion.
That's exactly what it is.
So if they're ranked, if they were ranked 7th, okay, and won that conference champion, they would put them at 7, okay? If they're ranked if they're ranked 12th or outside,
they'll be the 12th seed.
They'll be the 12th seed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there's always going to be that team. There's
so
always going to be a
Boise's in the
Cinderella
playoff.
team.
Boise's in.
Correct. So there was
because nobody else is knocking on that door. The question is you got the Big 12 and the ACC, which are clearly the weaker conferences of the big ones.
Correct.
Are they going to get 2 or just 1?
They just need 1.
Right now you got SMU and Miami undefeated.
Yep.
So Clemson losing gave them 2 losses. Now they're out of the fray because I thought Clemson and Miami had a chance to both get in.
Correct. And Ohio State lost last week. Boom, gone.
But you got BYU and Kansas State's only got 1 loss, so they have a chance to still play in the conference championship game. And then
who's going to be in the conference championship in the Big 12?
There's BYU and somebody else that's up there. Iowa State and Kansas State.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 of those 3.
The conference is so weak now. To me, or Indiana, they're in the Big 12, aren't they?
No, they're in the Big 10.
Big 10, okay. So
Ohio State and Indiana play. The winner of that's playing Oregon.
Got you.
Okay. So the question is, so you're going to have Penn State and Indiana and or Ohio State sitting out. 2 of those 3 teams are sitting out of the championship game. So are they going to give them? They're going to give them at least 3 teams in.
3 teams,
and they may give them 4. They may give them 4 instead of the SEC. Getting 5.
If the SEC gets the winner of the SEC championship, let's just say we don't have a clue.
No, you can't pretend to predict the SEC because you got LSU and after this week it'll be a lot easier. Because next week you got Georgia and Tennessee.
Correct.
So now Tennessee has got a chance to give Georgia 2 or 3 losses, and then Tennessee has got a chance to stay with 1 loss, or they have a second loss, which is not a bad loss because it's at Georgia.
Yeah. 2 biggest games of the year. It's going to be fun.
And then A&M plays Texas at the end.
Yeah.
So that game's going to be huge.
We were thinking about going.
The winner of the A&M Texas games in the SEC championship game, now that I think about it.
Say that again?
The winner of the Texas A&M Texas game is going to play in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
Against either Georgia, Alabama, or LSU.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun coming down the stretch. I know that. I can't wait. Sir. I don't think we're going to even give any picks. We got 2 big games coming up. I feel like, you said we'll give our picks out on Saturday, but you after talking, you kind of like the under in the Ole Miss.
Yeah, I do.
And I hate it. God, I've already picked them this year, but I'm liking Ole Miss. God, Kiffin, get it done one time, man. Please.
We've lost a lot of value with it dropping under 3.
Yeah.
Because now we pretty much got to win the game.
If I take it, I'm taking the win. We're either winning or getting blown out. We're either winning or getting blown out. I guess 3 would be good for a safety net.
We've lost both games this year. We've lost by 3.
Yep.
So
We're due. We're due, man. Come on, Kiffin.